Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Fairuz Nasution with student identification number 2024-32077 from Information System Major Class B. So, today I'm going to do my last test, which is database concept, and the question is to make us a database. So I'm going to explain step by step how to make the database. So first thing before we make a database is we need to make sure that some control panel is online, and for module Apache and MySQL have PID ports, and the action is start. Now I already start both of the module, and we go to this localhost phpMyAdmin. Now I make a new database is perpustakaan UAS. So how to make the new database is just we simply choose this new, and this is we can create the database here. For example, I'm going to make a unique database and we press create here. Now this is the new database here. But how we can make the table of this database to put our data and entity? First thing, we need to name the table. Now we move to what I already made. Here we can create a new table like this, and we just simply uh, fill the name and type, which is consists int for the only number, varchar is for the character, text which is the text, and date is for the date we want to make. And the length here is how many characters we can input it. And then if we want to make it a primary key, we just simply choose this one. Now, if we look at what I already made, I already made 4 data for anggota entity. And how do I make another to make it 5? It just we simply choose this insert. Now we can put the data for the attribute that we already made. Now I'm going to fill this out. And we simply choose this go so that this data here will be input to the new one. And we can make so many column and data for this entity. We don't have any limit because we can just simply ask more many rows, and then we press go. Now if we go back to the entity, we'll see that already made it here. Now we simply add another data to another entity to make it 5, which is the question asks us to make for a minimum 5 data for each entity. Now, because we are going to use the foreign key, we need to make sure that the data we made is first the primary key for every entity, and it can be uh, arranged because if we arrange the selection, it will make an error. The order of entering the entities that I already made is first the anggota, and then petugas, and then penulis, and then penerbit, and then buku, and then peminjaman, and then pengembalian, and then denda. Because a primary key of initial data is needed before putting a foreign key in another entity. Now, because I already made the data here, we can simply mix it all for the foreign key, but I'm going to uh, make new data to complete it to 5 for each entity. Now, for entity peminjaman, pengembalian, and data is basically a foreign key that need a primary key for the other entity, which is make this a weak entity. Now we're going to insert another data for this entity. Now we got all the data here and already 5. Now, if we go back to the database and we choose the designer, we're going to see the relation of all the data. Make sure to arrange it so we can see the line here. Basically, how do we make this relation max looks like this? It's not just the simply we put the primary key and then the foreign key for each entity and the attributes. We can do that with if we choose for the structure here and we look at the relation, we can see that for the anggota and then petugas, penulis, and then buku don't have a constraint because their primary key for the other entity. We can look it like this. We need this constraint to connect all the foreign key to the data. We can simply add constraint here and we write the constraint name and add the column that we want to be connect. For example, like this. We can simply choose like this. But because I already do all the constraint, we can look through for the database designer that I already made the relation view. Now because I already do all the relations view, that's all my explanation for how to make a database, which is I choose a library database. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry if I made a mistake.